Sonny Marks. I'm from Coopersburg, Pennsylvania. In 2016, I came out as a lesbian, as a butch lesbian or stud, to my family and friends. It was definitely a difficult time because I had to basically live two separate lives. One, as somebody who was out in the community, and then another as somebody who had to kind of a watered down version of myself with my family members. And that was difficult because I was, at work and school, and when I would come home, I wasn't able to be myself. I had to really conform to what my family had, set aside, or what they saw of LGBT people. And then when I was out with my friends, it was I could be whoever I wanted to be. I could talk to who I wanted to talk to, and there wasn't an issue. Living in my parents' house and living with people that weren't accepting of me was taking a toll on my mental health. I don't know what happened or the initial argument, but it was something to do with me being gay or talking to somebody, and it was getting to the point where it was like I can't deal with having aggressive arguments every 5 seconds. So my friends came, we just threw all my stuff together and left and went to my friend's house. She's a lesbian, and her dad is 100% accepting of that, so I moved in with them. It was one of the worst and one of the best days, because it was liberating to be like, I'm leaving them, but also in the same turn, it was like now I'm on my own completely, like in some ways. I'm living with somebody, but I'm still on my own. I realized there was still something even missing. Even though I had already come out, I was like, that was it. I thought that was the end, but I had later met a trans man who I went out like on one date with, and he kind of discussed his transition was like, and even after that, I kind of went online, started looking at YouTube videos and different people who transitioned. By the time I got to my friend's house and I was out, we went to New York for a trip, and that day, for some reason, I was like, this was just random in my mind. I was like, what would it be like if I was a guy? Or a boy? I was like, and that was random, but I was like, that just kind of like sparked something. After coming back from New York, that's when I realized that I was trans, and all of my friends were supportive of it, but I was trying to save enough money to get on hormones, because that was the next step. The process of being on hormones was a lot faster in Philadelphia than where I'm from. It would have taken a year otherwise, and I wasn't trying to wait any longer to transition. So I was just working as much as I could, saving my money, trying to move to Philadelphia. After I had moved out of my friend's house, I actually moved into another place in Bethlehem, and I lived there by myself, and I worked this job in food service. And they thought of me just as a woman or as a butch lesbian, whatever. On the weekends, I would go down to Philadelphia to volunteer and do things that were within our community and other, other things. But on the weekdays, I was seen as a woman, and that was it was horrible, because it was just like I was pretending to be two different people in two different places. And eventually, I did save enough money to get to Philadelphia. I think I sold my car, actually, to get there. And I moved into a queer house. Almost the second that I moved there, or no, it was like a month before I moved there, I started hormones. I had a very large support group when I moved here. A lot of people were, even with friends, I had friends that donated clothes to me because I couldn't afford new ones. Even when I wasn't working, I was able to go to events where it was specifically for people that were trans or queer. So I had a good social life. Philadelphia had opened my eyes to things that people that I had never even met, like non-binary people. Living in Philadelphia, I got a lot of opportunity to go out and to talk to legislators. And one of the things I realized is that when I was with that specific group, or certain people, they would kind of force me into a box of being like, okay, you're a trans man. But even then, I was like, I wasn't sure, to be honest. I was like, I know I'm trans, I know I want to take hormones, but I don't, but I feel like there was like, okay, you're a trans man, you got to fit into this box. But even though I knew I had friends that were non-binary, and I was like, oh, that's that seems more comfortable. But I was also like, I just needed to be respected, because I wasn't on hormones for very long, so I could still be misgendered, and I just wanted to be respected as a human being. And I was just like, so I'll just take what I can get at that time. But now, fast forward to being almost 3 years on hormones, I'm very comfortable with my masculinity, and it's not fragile or anything. And if it is, I got to check it. But uh, I'm more. I feel like non-binary is a better way to describe me as, masculine and feminine, or neither. After transitioning, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of family, but I also gained friends and family that weren't necessarily blood. So even though I was sacrificing a lot, like I still gained things from it. The skin is almost like thickened from all the the comments and the hate from people that I have to work with, or people that I interact with on a daily basis. But I tolerate less. I feel like I think that hormones and transitioning, obviously it's different for everybody, but for me personally, it's not something that is going to be easy. And there were times when I didn't have enough money to buy my hormones, or something happened where I had issues with my doctor. So it's not going to be an easy road, but at the same time, it's worth it when I have like moments of gender euphoria, which something some people don't really know about. But it's basically the opposite of gender dysphoria, when you feel 100% as the gender that you are, and that I can't describe it because it's a personal experience, but it's one of the best experiences I've had. So that's something to definitely look forward to if there's somebody out there like me that wants to transition and is afraid to, but it's worth it at the end.